just had surgery.
The most memorable moment I've had with Roger was when we went fishing at Altoona Dam and he caught a soft-shell turtle, and he was so scared of it that he asked me to go unhook it. And while I was doing that, the line actually snapped, and it caused such a big jump scare that he screamed at the top of his lungs for like 10 seconds. And then after that, we just laughed for like 5 minutes, just laughing about it.
Hey everyone, this is Shula. Just want to first say my condolences to the friends and family of Roger. Roger was a phenomenal guy. He made a tremendous impact in my life early on in my younger days. He was a great friend. He was a great leader, an amazing captain, an even better brother. But more so than anything, at least for me, he was very loyal, a loyal friend. And anyone that knows Roger can attest to that. I remember when I first met Roger was actually in Milwaukee. We had just started a young soccer team, and we needed some people to some bodies and players to play and help out. And we reached out to him, and without hesitance, he hopped on the team, and he brought Silencers with him. And so it didn't matter if we were good or not, or what it looked like. He was committed to play, and obviously he loved the game of soccer. But I remember talking to him. He said, "Shula, we're going to stick with you guys to the very end, and we're going to win." And that was the kind of person Roger was. He's very committed. He showed his loyalty, and the confidence he had was very inspirational. He cared about those around him. He made them better. And that's probably why he was such a great leader and captain. And so, Roger, you're truly a legend. You're one of a kind, and I thank you for what you've done in my life and those around you. I'll truly miss you, but I know that I'll see you again one day, and I can't wait for that day. And so, rest in peace, my friend. I love you, and I'll miss you.
One of the most memorable moments that I remember about Roger was during the early years of me playing disc golf. I met him on hole 5 at Mount Simon with 2 other guys, and he steps up to the tee and he just puts a blast on his drive. Parks it underneath the pin right on the hillside. Now, what made this memorable was his swagger about the whole thing. While we were walking up to the tee, he didn't even go pick up his disc to finish it off in the basket. He decides to just walk off to the next tee box and tells the other guy to pick up his disc. And I'm just thinking, like, wow, like I've never seen that before. But if you know Roger, in life and through sports, that was who he is. He showed that swagger. From there, we had good moments on and off the court, and made lots of friends along the way, especially in our Asian Disc Golf Club and community. So we'll miss you greatly, Roger, and wherever you are, keep bringing that swagger, and we'll miss you, my brother.
So Roger clearly usually always had the loudest laugh in the room, or yell, or voice. He was very free in the way he expressed his feelings, whether they were joy or discontent or gratitude, whatever it was. He was very vocal. But something that I think really stands out about Roger for me is this very deep, contemplative, philosophical orientation. He was somebody who really asked the big questions and struggled with the meaning of his life, and he was always asking and searching those tough questions. And there's just one memory that will always stay with me. We were in Seattle, and we were doing a trip to Desolation Peak, hiking up there, and you could see the border of Canada. It was a beautiful, great hike. Roger did it with no problem. But it wasn't the hike. It was the visit that we did to Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee's grave. And we got there, and we're all big Bruce Lee fans, Brandon Lee fans, and I think what we admire the most about Bruce and Brandon were not just that they're great martial artists, but they're great artists, great thinkers, great change agents. And we did our photos, we did our tributes as a group, we did our thanks. But we were walking away, and I saw Roger pull back and just slowly separate himself from our group, and I think he just wanted a quiet moment with the Grandmaster. He went back there, and I saw him just having a peaceful conversation with Bruce and Brandon. Saw him touch their headstones, say a few words, gave a little bow. It was just a beautiful moment. I mean, I was glad I could witness it. I was hoping I wasn't intruding on his solidarity with them. But I'll send you a picture so you can see it. I took I snuck in a photo of the moment, and I hope you enjoy it, because I think it really captures Roger's full self.
No, give him a try first. Give him a try. Just give him a try. Okay.
Practice swing.
Hey, man, Tom's not that far. You can beat him.
Go! Go! Go!
Another true story I love about Roger, and for those of you who don't know his love of disc golf, it's pretty real. You know, in many ways, I introduced the sport to our family, and I have a lot of discs. I've been playing for a long time, and but Roger's room is full of these discs. They're stacked piles. And he's got an amazing collection. And if you've never seen him play or even heard of the sport, to fully know Roger is to see him in action and playing disc golf, because that was a love of his, and he is really free and honest on the course. So it was after his first surgery where he had a section of his colon removed, and I came to visit him. We had a good, nice, long, deep chat watching the river. I stayed with him for a couple of days. And we were already talking about disc golf, and I think it was just a week or two, no more than that, after his surgery, where we went out to Tower Ridge, and I gave him like a 10-stroke handicap because, you know, he was straight out surgery. He was obviously not physically there, and I've been playing like once a week, and he came out and he beat me straight up by like 2 strokes and I gave him a 10-stroke handicap, and he just like crushed it. Played steady, played strong, was just smart, consistent, but most of all, he was just kind of had this kind of quiet confidence about him, like, you know what, I'm here. You may have given me 10 strokes, but I'm gonna just show you that I don't need it. In fact, I'm gonna beat you straight up. And I just loved it, because I was not exactly coasting, and he beat me flat out, kicked me in the butt, and humbled me. And that's Roger for you, because if you ever underestimate him, if you ever doubt his abilities, if you ever doubt his determination, then you're in for a lesson. But I think that story just really magnifies his fighting spirit and his ability to always dig deep, especially when he's facing adversity. So we are in Colorado at A-Basin, which is the highest elevation resort in Colorado. It's higher than Breckenridge, Vail, Aspen. It's not really famous, but it's known to have all the steepest runs. And it was Roger's first time down there, and he wasn't super experienced snowboarder, but he was definitely capable and always loved to challenge himself. And so I took him all the way out to the top bowl, the highest, toughest runs. And he said he was ready for it. I knew he was ready for it. And we get there, we strap in, and we look down, and all of a sudden you could just see, the adrenaline rushing in both of us. People way at the bottom look like they're ants. The resort looks like a little shoebox way down there. But I knew he was capable of doing it. I sensed some hesitancy, but I had no doubt. But as I'm strapping in, he picks up his board and starts walking off. And I was totally shocked. I was like, dude, you're the captain of silencers. What would your teammates say? What would they think if they saw you right now walk away from this challenge? And I'm not going to use exact words because it's not kid appropriate for me to repeat to you, but in essence, he basically just said, hell no, I'm not going to do this. I don't give a dang about what Silencer says or thinks. I'm not doing this. So screw you. You're not going to persuade me. And I thought he was joking, but he kept on going, and he kept on going. And he carried his board. He walked away, probably 300-400 meters to get to the next chairlift. And I've never seen Roger ever back down in that manner. And of course, that night I gave him a ton of crap. I made him slam a beer. I laid it on him pretty thick. And the next day we went to Breckenridge, which is a world famous resort, and we went to the back bowls. And these runs were arguably even more difficult. They just didn't have the visual intimidating effect. But Roger went immediately down, no hesitation, no pause, just pure kind of like tenacity, and he just crushed it. He went down some of the hardest runs in Colorado, his first time there, and he had it in him, and he just proved to me and to himself and to all of us who were there that, yeah, it can be a little bit challenging and intimidating at first, but I think he realized that what he's capable of really is amazing. And it's a great story because I think we all know Roger to be this fierce, tough, badass competitor, this captain who's just so disciplined, but yet he, even the bravest, even the strongest of us all can have a moment of pause and a tough moment where we need to check our gut and our character. And I love this story because he came back twice as strong, capable, and really proved to himself that even the most intimidating runs in the world weren't enough to hold him back.
Hey everyone, I'm Kevin. I first met Roger when I was in 6th grade. One of my favorite memories of Roger was when he bought me my first pair of indoor shoes at Planet Soccer and went on to help pay for some fees so that I could play at the sports center. Growing up, Roger also took me out to mini home tournaments in his blue Honda Civic, and it was full of great memories. I'm grateful for many things that Roger did for me while growing up in Wisconsin. To me, Roger was like my older brother.
Hey Raj, it's me, man. Just wanted to say, man, I miss you a lot, bro. Wherever you are, I hope that you're at ease. I don't know if you know, but Sonny and some of the guys are putting together a memorial video for you. I thought I'd just drop in and share a moment we had, man. You're always a selfless person, man. You always put everybody first. And I'm gonna miss that a lot about you. You know, there was a night we were at Michael's apartment, and they still live on top of your mom's apartment. You had told me that at the end of the night when we were super wasted, you said you didn't want me to go home. I should sleep over. You said, you know, Rob, out of all our group of friends, you're the only one to get a doctor's degree. Don't risk it on this sort of night. You know, that meant so much to me. Gosh, I'm gonna miss you, man. Know that I always love you, bro. I'm proud of you. I'll see you later, Captain. Love you, man.
So, a quick funny story about Roger was that one year Roger and the soccer guys came down to Milwaukee for a tournament. After they were done playing soccer, we went to Lake Michigan to go see if the beach was warm enough for us to go swimming. When we got there, we realized that the water was just freezing cold. It was like April. And Roger was like the last guy who came out of the car, so he didn't realize how cold the water was. So I told the guys, like, hey, let's see if we can convince Roger to jump into the lake, you know, because he was the last guy who came out of the car. So we all started taking off our clothes, and we're like, hey, Roger, let's race into the lake, you know, let's see if we can jump in, and let's see who's the last guy, right? So he was like, Roger was like so pumped. He was like, yeah, let's do it, man. And so we started racing towards the lake. And as soon as we got there, we all stopped, and Roger just drove right into the lake. And man, that water was so cold. Roger came out, he was like freezing, and it was just such a funny time, funny memory, man. It's so funny.
This is Ku, and I just wanted to share a story I had about Roger. Roger is the type of person who always tries to show his buddies new things. I remember this one time Roger decided to take a bunch of the soccer guys to go disc golfing. We didn't have any discs of our own, so Roger gave us his disc to use. The soccer guys are all competitive and no one wants to lose. But the kicker was that we all sucked at throwing in our own way. Roger goes first and drives his disc all the way towards the basket with ease. I don't know how many people usually go when they go disc golfing, but our group consisted of 10 plus people. Now it was our turn to start throwing, not knowing where our flaws laid. One by one, we threw Roger's discs, some landing behind bushes, some into the woods, and some straight into the ground. You could see the subtle panic of Roger as he's trying to memorize where we scattered all of his discs. Usually once you warm up and get the hang of it, you'll start to throw better. But keep in mind that the group that we had was just a bunch of soccer guys. So the harder we tried, the worse it got. I remember I got fed up with my throws and I asked Roger to give me his best disc since it's got to be the disc and not me. Roger told me that this was the Charizard of his discs. I was like, perfect. A disc that matches my skills? I stepped up to throw and I didn't want to disappoint Sokutamatsu, and it showed no sign of slowing down. All of that changed when the disc met a tree trunk 10 yards away. I handed Roger's Charizard disc back to him with a fresh dent on it. Roger's eyes met the indent and just shook his head. I never got to throw Charizard again. But that's the kind of person Roger was. He's always willing to give the best parts of himself to those that he loves, as long as they're enjoying themselves.